Hi, hello, welcome if you are new here. If you are not new, thanks for coming back. I am driving into the office and it's my last day in the office. Tomorrow I just go in to return all my stuff. So if you're like, what are you talking about? Well, if you saw my last video, I announced that we are moving to the Netherlands and I quit work. I've had a lot of people ask a lot of the same questions, so I just figured, why not make a video? First question, where are you moving? In the Netherlands. I think people probably assume Amsterdam, but we're not. We are moving to The Hague. It is about 45-50 minutes on the train from Amsterdam to The Hague. The Hague is I like to say it's like a beachside town. Our place is about 10 minutes from the beach. There's a great big, in my opinion, big city center. I think it's the third biggest city in the Netherlands, I want to say. It's about 20 minutes from Rotterdam, coastal but city vibes. It's so freaking cute and I'm just so excited. It is also where the international parliament, king, all that stuff is. What are you doing for work, Chelsea? Well, I am going all in on myself. It has been a long time coming. I am so excited. I had been dreaming of putting my notice in for probably years now. Being a working mom is no easy task. Being a stay-at-home mom is no easy task, but being a working mom, it is exhausting. I work in automotive. I've been working there for 14 years. I had 2 other kids while working there. I had 2 miscarriages also while working there. I had an autism diagnosis for my middle. It's just been a lot. Then you come home then exhausted from work and mentally and physically, and then you're trying to be this mom, this wife, this person, and it's really hard. And you will basically never find balance is what I've figured out. Okay, the next biggest question probably was, do you have your visa? No, we don't have our visa. How this visa works that we are doing a visa called the DAFT visa. It's called the Dutch American Friendship Treaty. And what that basically is like an entrepreneur visa. The requirements for it are very, very easy compared to other nomad or entrepreneur visas in other countries. How the visa works is one person is the visa holder, and then if you have a partner, husband, wife, kids, they can all be on the visa alongside you. So what is so great about this visa is that I will be the visa holder. Jarek and the kids can all be on it, and then Jarek can actually apply to any job he wants in the Netherlands and actually even in the EU, and he doesn't need a company to sponsor him. Usually when you're an immigrant or an expat somewhere, you need a company to sponsor you. He won't need that. So he will have a Dutch address. He can apply for jobs in the Netherlands. If there's a question that says, do you need sponsorship? The answer is no. So it's incredible for him. The area we're moving to, like I said, is big international finance government area. So he could kind of stick to what he's doing now in banking, or he can totally switch it up. Most people know that he currently works 100% remote at home, and they were asking if he's allowed to work remote there. The answer is no. He didn't ask, but when he went to put his notice in, I think he might have said something like, I don't think I can work international, right? The bank that he works for is in New York, but it's not an international bank, so you can't, for legal reasons, you can't cross those lines. You know what I mean? That's okay. To be honest, he's very burnt out from it and wanted out, so that's how that is working. Okay, let's go on to housing. Are we buying or renting a house in the Netherlands? We are renting and we already have one. That's how everything kind of snowballed. Order of operations for events was have to have a place in the Netherlands before we list our house, quit our jobs, get everything snowballing, because the housing market in the Netherlands, specifically for rentals, is bananas. I had to put together basically a 1-page document selling, it was a dating profile for our family, and then we gave them bank statements, savings statements, 401k statements. Our mother, great, she is very well known in the area, and that's really what we wanted. We wanted someone kind of with the upper hand to be able to fight for us because we're not there. She obviously speaks Dutch and talked to all these people, and basically the final thing that I think helped us was I sent a selfie video and was like, hi, like, I'm Chelsea, you know, I wish we were there to meet in person, but I just wanted to like say hi and express how excited we are to, you know, rent your space from you, and it's so beautiful, and like here's a little picture, like a snippet of our space and how we keep it. And I showed like our living room and kitchen, and I was just like, you know, we really are looking forward to making your space home. And a expat family with no Dutch income and a dog is not exactly like the ideal renters, you know. Yeah, we got it. What's so wild about that place that we got is it is fully furnished, and I mean down to like salt and pepper shakers, lemon squeezers, there's like everything's there. They basically like redid their place, and then they got a job in Dubai and like moved to Dubai. But it works out perfect for us. We really only need to be bringing like clothes, shoes, toiletries, and like some toys and art stuff. What are we doing with our house? We love our house. We truly do. We are selling it. We went back and forth on if we would rent it out or if we would sell it, and ultimately we just were like, we want to sell it. We want a clean like break from like leaving here, so we're just navigating that and trying to figure all that out. Okay, so with the house stuff is we don't really have any like furniture that's good, worthwhile keeping. So we are gonna get a little storage unit and put some like memory stuff in there and stuff that like we want to keep but don't necessarily want to take with us at this moment. So we'll get a little storage unit for that. All right, I think that's good on the house stuff, the visa, job stuff. I am just about to get off the highway and get to work, so we will pick the rest of this up in a minute.
Hi guys, I'm editing the video and I realized there was a couple questions that I never answered, so we're gonna answer them now. So a couple questions that I never got a chance to answer was, so what are we doing for school? So the boys are 14, almost 12, and Jude's 4. Education there in the Netherlands. One thing that like I don't love, but they don't allow homeschooling under very like random circumstances they allow it, and then you have to follow the education schedule for vacations. You can't just pull your kids out whenever you want like I'm used to, so that'll take some getting used to, but it's fine. But what they have is they have multiple different options you can do. So they have Dutch public, they have semi-private, and then they have private, and most of the private schools are all international. I don't think they really have Dutch private. Maybe they do, I don't know. Education is compulsory at the age of 5, but they can start school at the age of 4. So once we're settled, I'm gonna start looking for a school for Jude. And then for the boys, we're gonna go the Dutch public route to start with. So I'm not worried about Trayson. They do say when kids are older, it does take them a little longer to become fluent enough to go into like mainstream Dutch education. But what they do there, which is so cool, and I think other countries could totally follow suit. Maybe they do, I don't know, but they do. It's called the newcomers class, and what they do is they have kids that don't speak Dutch, so they could be Indian, Chinese, American. They're all going to this ISK for like 12 to 18 or newcomers class 6 to 11. And you go in this class and it is very focused on learning the language and I think like a little bit of math, but everything else is kind of like pushed to the side for a little bit so the kids learn Dutch. So we're gonna go that route. I'm hoping that both boys get into the same schools. There's 3 or 4 schools that do it in The Hague where we're moving based on openings, because basically once kids become like fluent enough to go back into like the mainstream education, then they just like pull them out. They don't wait for like a semester and end date, whatever. So it's kind of like a rolling in and out schedule is like what I've understood. How we're handling like Sky's education is we're gonna start this route, because if you start this route, then you're automatically in the Dutch public system, and then you'll get like services, you'll have like special education if needed, you'll have like the help, and you'll be in the system to then like get the help and aids that you need. So we're gonna start that way. There are other options. So there's like Montessori type schools, there's lots of different type of schooling that would be private here, and it's not private there, and it's not private money there. It is still money, but it's not like $10,000 a year or $20,000 a year. So that's what we're doing, and we're gonna go from there. What are we doing with our car? So our car situation, what we did is we've been planning this for about 2 years now. And 2 years ago, I was like, I have 1 year left on my car. It's up May 30th, and then you could actually extend it 1 more month. So what we did last May 2024, we extended the lease 1 more month. So we had it till like June 30th, I think, and we turned that lease in, and then we said we are going to be a 1-car family. Jared works at home 100%, so he rode the e-bike or our scooter up to get Sky from school every day. If it was raining or cold in the winter, I would leave work and early, and then I would go get him. I was actually surprised that like no one kind of asked like, oh, are you not getting another car? Like, I mean, I also like that no one was like so nosy and like, why do you only have 1 car? Like, because we want to, like, and to be honest, like if we weren't moving, I still would have loved to like keep that 1-car mindset, because it took a little bit of coordinating, but it was fine. There was a few points where Jarek's like, we need another car, and I'm like, we're not getting another car for a year. Sorry, sir. I guarantee he's watching this back and he's like, she was right, it worked out, because we would have had to like try and sell it, and like it would have been just not a fun time. So what are we doing with the car that we do have? So we have a small little loan on it, but basically we're selling it to Carvana for what it's worth. We'll do that like, I think like 3 days before we leave, we'll sell it to them, and then we'll just use an Uber or have family take us around if needed. I literally just booked the flights yesterday. That leads me to the next thing. How is the dog getting there? I had so many people ask if we were bringing Jade, and I got really offended. I don't know if it like makes me feel like people are like judging my character, but we thought about this specifically about the Netherlands because they allow pit bulls and pit bull mixes into the country. We didn't pick Germany, even though I speak German, even though like I've wanted to move and live in Germany my entire life, but Germany does not allow pit bulls in their country. So I don't understand like how much more clear I have to be. We picked the Netherlands based on if the school system was good for Sky and if they allowed pit bulls in. Like, those were our 2 top things when we looked at different countries where we wanted to move. If they could support Sky and his needs, and if they allowed our dog. And I'm like kind of mad that people have asked me like, is Jade coming? I'm like, what do you take me for? She is my baby. Yes, she's coming. Is it expensive? Kind of, but like, it's fine. She's coming. She's going to thrive. It's going to be great. So how that works is there's only a few airlines that fly dogs in cargo. She's too big to fly in the cabin. Lufthansa, American Airlines, KLM, and I think there's one more. But the problem is KLM is a Dutch kind of like Delta partner. The problem with KLM is that they lend out their airspace to Delta, and I can't fly on a flight for Delta. So I found like $188 flights, okay? But they were Delta, so I couldn't do it. So we booked our flights. We're flying Lufthansa. We're taking a metro car, we're selling our car, we're selling the house, we're selling everything in the house. The house is fully furnished. I think I said that in the other video that I made. We are gonna get like a tiny storage unit to keep some like holiday stuff in, because I'm being like super selective. I'm taking some Christmas stuff, some Halloween stuff, some spring stuff, like very small stuff that like I always kind of have up for like parties, I guess you would say. And I'm gonna bring that in like a small bin, and we'll bring that initially, and then I will go through the Christmas stuff when we come back for Christmas and figure out like what we want to bring. But yeah, I think we'll do like a little storage unit. It's like $25 a month or something like that for like the first 6 months, and then when we come back for Christmas, we'll go through it and figure out like what we need, what we don't need. Phones. So what we are doing, I think we'll probably have like a month of overlap. I think what my friend said is she kept their phone numbers but ported them to a Google Voice number, and then she got a Dutch number when she was there. Use your same phone, and then that way you can still have people like text you or call you from your US number. I'm not even really worried about that. I mean, I am kind of worried about that. I want people to be able to like call and text that way, but I am worried about like the two system authentication, you know, for banks and credit cards and emails, like all that kind of stuff. I want to make sure, careful Bean, I want to make sure that we have that, so that Jude, hey, can you not roundhouse kick me? I want to make sure that we have the same phone numbers that we have for all of our like credit cards and all that stuff. Yeah, we'll have a couple weeks. We have like 2 more weeks here, and then we're leaving. I think that answered all the questions that basically all my family had. The Facebook that I joined has been just incredible and so helpful, and it's been so nice being able to like have that community. I've already have 2 families that have kids. The lady that I met last year, she and I like talk all the time. She's been there a year in the same area that we live in. Her daughter is 13 and she's thriving and just doing great. And we met up with her when we were there in April. And then another family I actually met in the Facebook group, they got a place, I think the end of May, and they have a 15 and 12-year-old daughters, I think, and they are literally like 3 blocks away from us. She's great. I've been talking to her a lot. Anyways, I think I rambled enough. I know I rambled enough. It's going to be very hard to cut this video down, but if you have any questions or you're interested in anything that I've said, leave them below and I'll go through and answer them. You can always message me as well. And I am excited to have you follow along in this journey. It's been a long time. And it's a lot of planning and a lot of work. And even though this is a very like quote unquote easy visa for Americans, nothing has been easy for us in the lead up and everything. So, but I do know we're like doing the thing that we should be, like, I know we're going like the right direction. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to follow on Instagram, and I will see you next time. Bye.